Welcome to high school football here on CMAC from Sunnyside High Stadium in southeast Fresno. It's the Sunnyside High Wildcats and the Stockdale High Mustangs. I'm Dan Taylor. Fred Clark away this week, and filling in is the former Bulldog standout and former Denver Bronco Paris Gaines. And Paris, Stockdale begins possession. Sunnyside won the toss. They defer to the second half, and already they're putting that football on the ground and trying to be physical.
That's right. You see Stockdale coming out in that traditional spread formation with the offset back.
And the quarterback with the keeper, and that is not the usual starter for Stockdale High. No, correction, that is Joseph Hess, who has been their starter thus far. Stockdale coming in 2-2. They're priming for a very tough Southwest Yosemite League schedule, which will begin in a week. Sunnyside High, this is not what we're used to seeing out of them, Paris. They're coming 0-4, and they're a much better team than that record would indicate.
Definitely, and that's a direct quote from Coach Shelton over there at Stockdale.
Oh, big pickups to the far side and out of bounds at the 42-yard line, penetrating into Sunnyside High territory.
And what you see from that traditional spread formation is quick hitting plays like that, trying to catch that 4-2 hybrid style defense that they run over at Sunnyside.
The Stockdale coaches say they like to call it the fun and gun, right. But at the same time, they said they want to be balanced. They want to run the football.
That's right. If you look at their receiving core, if you look at the stats, Dan, they have 4 or more receivers with 5 or more catches, so they look to throw that thing around a little bit.
On first down, the quarterback with a keeper. Not sure if that was by design or a busted play, but whatever it is, he's out close to the first down marker.
And that actually looked like a design run. We're talking about that zone read out of that spread formation. If the quarterback doesn't see that defensive end commit, or he has the ability to run the ball. And we see Hess right there with his ability to run. So we're looking at a very athletic quarterback.
They want to get right up to the line of scrimmage and get this next play going. It appears he's got a play sheet there on the left wristband. Second down and about a yard. Hess looking to go for it all. He's got a man wide open, and it's a touchdown for the Mustangs.
Touchdown Mustangs, and there's a flag on the play.
Looked like a little bit of excessive celebrating by Wright, the wide receiver, who hauled in that grab. They had 2 receivers in the area, both wide open. And it looks like we'll get another look at it here as you see the 2 receivers got behind the defenders.
There you go. They came out in that 13 formation. 1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right. 1 on the corner route with both wide open. That has to be a defensive bust, Dan.
So Stockdale coming out. Looks like they're going to go for 2. No, I take it back. There is the kicker. That is Dwayne Hartman, the place kicker. And it's got his tee. So he'll set it up for the extra point. So very quickly, Stockdale comes right out and puts 6 on the board. And the point extra is good. Stockdale on top very quickly by a 7-0 score. And Paris, I know that the Stockdale coaches wanted to make something big happen right away, and they were successful in doing it.
That's right. They wanted to start fast. Their quote is they want to impose their will and win the physical battle. But there we see a quick strike through the air. Trips formation. Again, it had to have been a defensive bust. The corner and the seam were wide open, Dan. That cannot be the way this Sunnyside team and Coach Wood would have wanted to start the game. We're talking about a team here who's 0-4. They don't want to be 0-5, and that cannot be the way they wanted to start this game.
Well, Coach Wood, as we have talked about through the course of the years here on CMAC, is a guy that likes to build a very challenging non-conference schedule. So he's not usually fazed by having a losing record in non-conference play, because it's all about getting ready and priming for the North Yosemite League, and especially for the postseason after. But once they get into North Yosemite League play this year, it's going to be a little bit different North Yosemite League.
Most certainly. We're talking about a North Yosemite League with 2 undefeated teams right now. Everyone else is 2-11, so yes, I understand that mentality.
Well, Sunnyside in the home blue to the right of the screen. They'll be going from your right to left. Stockdale in the visiting white going from your left to right. And as you'll recall from the Selma game that we brought to you 2 weeks ago, they can be very explosive on kick returns. Very short kick taken by one of the up men. And he's brought down at his own 44-yard line. That was Devon Ward. So as we look at Sunnyside Parish, they go with the young sophomore quarterback, and I had to do a double take because we remembered him a couple of weeks ago in number 3, and you're telling me there's a story there?
That's right. From what I understand, Dan, the young man, the jersey just came up missing. Talking to Coach Wood, talking about his young quarterback, he was unfazed by the change. He didn't mind wearing number 19, and that speaks volumes about his character.
Trips to the right. Vu, the sophomore quarterback, and he's airing it out right away. Just a little bit beyond the outstretched arms of his receiver.
Wow, talk about take a shot, let's land a shot right there. First play going deep. You got to love that beautiful ball the young man just threw. Had an opportunity right through the outstretched arms of his receiver.
So Vu, the quarterback, he was number 3 when you saw him in the Selma game. Now he's wearing number 19. Just a sophomore, and boy, he exudes confidence. Very comfortable back there in the pistol formation. Give goes to, that is Devon Jones, all the way down to the Stockdale 34-yard line.
Jones with a great run off tackle, talking about using all of those tools in your bag of running back treats there. Hits the spin move.
Jones picking up about 19 yards all the way down. They're spotting it at the 36-yard line.
And you got to love the way the young man finished the run. Ball on the outside arm, finishing the run, head down, falling forward.
Vu going for it all. Overthrows his receiver. Looks as though maybe they were a little crossed up on the route on that.
Yeah, maybe a little crossed up, but the receiver did have a step. The defensive back's playing about 5 to 7 yards, but a better ball, he did have an opportunity right there.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats.
Back in the pistol.
Jones takes the handoff. Looks as though he picked up maybe about 3.
Again, now later in the game, they're setting that up, Dan. You look at the quarterback, he's running that read play. He's checking to see if that defensive end is going to crash. He will have an opportunity to keep. Again, they're setting something up, running that play to the short side of the field.
3rd down and 7 for the Wildcats. Ball at the Stockdale 33. Going to the air, has a receiver, has a first down. Breaks free, steps out of bounds. That was Dakota Sneed, who can be very explosive.
That's right. Sneed with a great catch, just running a simple hitch route, taking advantage of what the defense has given him. That defensive back's playing way too far off. That's easy picking for Sunnyside, Dan.
So a first down for the Wildcats, now with the 19-yard line. Vu calling out the signals. He's going to throw. Setting up the screen. He's got the screen. Down to the 20-yard line. Correction to the 10-yard line. And a penalty flag. And that's usually in the area of a hold.
That's right, especially during a screen. And there you see it. And that's a timing play, Dan. That's 1,000, 200,000. You want to get your big boys to release, but again, on 3rd down, running a screen play like that is traditionally when you see a flag, it's a hold.
So that is going to bring the football back to the 32-yard line. Makes it 1st and
quarterback keep.
Vu with a keeper to the near side. Down to the 21 and steps out of bounds.
Keeping that Stockdale defense very honest right there with the quarterback keep. Vu seeing a hole, and that defensive front just keeps.
Brings up 2nd down and about 15 for Sunnyside. Williams to the top of your screen. Sneed trips to the left at the bottom of your screen. Jones the back. Play action.
There's a
Goes
fumble.
nowhere, and he loses the football. Stockdale recovers. A big break for the Mustangs. A big blow for the Wildcats.
And Dan, the Wildcats go into a little trickeration, trying to leak that back out and through. The young man, the young Vu, has to secure that football away when he's trying to make a play. He's just simply trying to extend the play with his feet, trying to make something out of nothing. But, you know, that's signs of a young quarterback right there.
Big break for the Mustangs as they stop a drive. And believe me, the Wildcats had an impressive drive underway. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Hess, incomplete.
Hess trying to hit that slot receiver uncovered.
I believe that was Gradowitz, the two-way player out in the slot. Couldn't hang on to the football. Second and 10. Hess with the fake and the keep. Off left tackle, picks up about 3.
And there you see that read keep again. Here, coming out of that 13 formation, that trips formation. Hess just keeps the ball, falls forward for good yardage.
Defensive signals coming in from the Sunnyside High bench below us. Stockdale in a trips formation to the near side of your screen. Hess with a fake and another keep. Picks up about 4, which will leave him 3 shy of the first down.
Stockdale going again with the keeper here. You know, if I'm Coach Sheldon, I don't know if I want my quarterback taking this many hits, but this young man is essentially a running back playing quarterback the way he's doing these keeps so far in this game. But again, I don't know if I want my quarterback, Dan, taking this many hits.
So a punt situation for Stockdale. And the Mustangs will down the football at the 28-yard line of Sunnyside. So the Wildcats hold on 4 plays, and now they will get the ball back in an attempt to try to recapture the drive they had going just a short time ago.
The Wildcats really need to get in some type of rhythm offensively, Dan.
Well, the last time out, they had some big plays, got down into the red zone, and then
this is a sideline warning.
Had a penalty, and now we've got a bench penalty.
That's right, a sideline warning.
So a warning given to the Sunnyside bench. They were actually out on the field conferring with the offense before Ekenvu and his teammates got out there. Give to Jones. Jones with a big gain, gets pushed out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
I tell you what, I like Jones. You see his acceleration right there. Great call by Coach. Again, that outside give, there is absolutely no one out there. The receiver runs off the cornerback and is essentially one-on-one with your playmaker in space.
So the Wildcats marching, 1st and 10. Ball placed at their own 46-yard line.
Again, both teams going no huddle.
Took the words right out of my mouth. From the pistol, Ekenvu, the young sophomore. Quick shot to the near side. Sneed tries to turn the corner. Ankle tackled. About a yard shy of the first down, and we've got a penalty in the backfield. And we've got a Stockdale player without a helmet. And he's going to be directed to the sideline for one play.
That's right. That's right.
Here's that play once again.
Again, that quick hitch, Dan, trying to get your playmaker in space. The young man has some wiggle and some shake to his game. You know, he's that kind of kid that can make you miss in a phone booth, so you want to get him the ball often.
He called the dude a fucking.
So they march it off against Stockdale. That will be a big 15-yard penalty.
And number 15, the young man that had to come off because his helmet came off. Nathaniel Treba, the running back outside linebacker. High school rules states you do have to come off for one play if you lose your helmet.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line, the Stockdale 31-yard line. Ekenvu from the pistol with the give to Jones. Around the near corner, cuts it back up. He's got room, cuts back, touchdown Sunnyside.
Dan Jones again on that outside sweep. No one is home. No one is home. You got your guard and your tackle pulling. The young man he's taught to run behind butts. Again, great call, ball in the outside arm, taught great speed and great acceleration. All he does is just follow those big butts right into the end zone, Dan.
Nice cut back there at the 5. Football's a game of angles, and he took full advantage. Sunnyside planning to go for 2. And they will be stopped short. So the 2-point try fails, and Stockdale stays up 7-6 with 6:07 to play here in the first quarter from Sunnyside Stadium. Glad you're with us here on CMAC. And if you've punched in channel 98 on your Xfinity Comcast system or channel 99 on AT&T, we're glad you've joined us tonight. Dan Taylor with Paris Gaines filling in tonight for Fred Clark. Sunnyside on the board now, a 7-6 game as both offenses churning up some yards and generating some excitement here in the first quarter of play.
And if you're Coach Wood and the Wildcats, that's how you respond right there. That's the confidence that offense is needed. I mean, that's a great long sustaining drive. That outside play, great acceleration by their back. That's exactly what you needed.
So on the opening kickoff, we saw a line drive kick. We get about a 15-yard return. What will we get now? Is Devon Jones doing the kicking? And one of the up men has it, and he's got a lot of room. There is nobody down the near sideline. He's got a blocker clearing some space for him, and he gets ridden out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
You know, Dan, we talk about the keys to success, you know, offense, defense, and special teams, and trying to win the sudden change. After you score that, you don't that's something you don't want to happen. The team to come down and get great field position. Now a 6-7 game and great drive, and now you come back and you allow Stockdale to have excellent field position.
Starting in the red zone from the 19-yard line. I will not, in his absence, say 19.5. Fred has schooled me for 3 years that there is no such thing on a football field as a half-yard line. So it's at the 19-yard line where Stockdale begins their possession. The give to the running back. This is Davidson.
And it's fumble.
And it's going right back to Sunnyside. A big break for the Wildcats.
That's a huge break after you just scored, allowing Stockdale to come back down to your red zone. And wow, that's crushing. That senior running back that they rely on, Davidson, the senior running back, the young man squats 500 pounds. A couple weeks ago, 108 yards on 17 carries against the undefeated Clovis High School, and now coughs up the football with an opportunity to go in, Dan.
Well, in Paris, you could just see the different body language. You saw the Stockdale players very slowly trudge off the field after that fumble, and you saw the Sunnyside players sprinting to their bench to celebrate. Very different moods on the two sides of the field.
That's right. Execution fuels emotion.
So Sunnyside will open this drive from about the 8-yard line. Vu throwing deep. His man is slipped behind. He's got it at the 45. Hauled down at the 30. Ball is loose, but was that after the player was tackled?
There's no whistle. There was
absolutely right.
There was no whistle. We're waiting for a call.
Gordon Wood is out on the field, and he's furious. Well, the Sunnyside offense is coming off. The Stockdale offense is going back on. Not sure if we'll be able to see that again on a replay. But the Sunnyside coaching staff is furious about that call. They felt their receiver was down and that the ground caused that fumble.
That's right. We're talking about another strike by the young quarterback, Vu, to a streaking Williams. And the ball seemed to have come loose. I thought his foot was down, Dan.
And now we've got a penalty flag.
Okay.
And there's another flag.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Sunnyside
Unsportsmanlike
bench.
conduct. It is being
That will go against the
shown
head
against
coach.
Sunnyside.
15 yards.
And my assumption is, since it was the line judge, it was probably on the bench.
Coach, yes. That is definitely on the coaching staff, who is visibly upset by what happened on that play.
And you can imagine that they will be dissecting those films and sending copies
right.
to the head of officials.
I'm sure.
So Stockdale now with a football at the Sunnyside High 46-yard line. After the amazing sling of fortunes there, the quick out brought down to the 39-yard line.
A quick hitter by Hess. There you go. Again, trying to get your playmaker in space. And you see he's able to make one move, make that first defender miss, picking up great yardage on first down.
Second out and 3 from the 39-yard line. Hess calling signals from the pistol.
A cover 2 look.
Give to the running back. That is Davidson.
That's right. And you got to love that. You give your senior running back, who just fumbled the previous series, you hand him the rock right there. You trust that, hey, he's going to squeeze that football in traffic.
As a former running back, is that something that you can relate to?
Most certainly. And I'll get another flag.
Yep. We're going to go 15 from here. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct
Waiting to
defense.
see what the call
15
is.
yards result in a first down.
Yes.
You have to calm your team down right here in this moment. That's 2 back-to-back unsportsmanlike penalties. It's costing you. You're now shooting yourself in the foot right now. You have to calm your young team down.
Well, that marches the ball down to the 19-yard line. Stockdale back where they were before this exchange of
That's right.
turnovers and penalties, pretty much. To the near side, to right. Tries to turn it up. Ridden out of bounds and flung out by the Sunnyside defenders.
And Dan, that quick scat play, that bubble swing by that slot receiver, there was absolutely no one out there. Again, you have to love the coaching strategy here to get your playmakers the ball in space, but there was absolutely no one on the slot receiver.
Second down and about a yard. Ball at the 11-yard line. Hess fakes the handoff. Now he's scrambling. He's got room to run. He's got the first down, and he's knocked down at the 3.
That's a good pop as that Sunnyside defense closed on the ball. We had a backside blitz by the linebacker who walked down right there. But the blitz...
Take another look.
Hess with the keeper there, sensing that pressure coming from the backside, scrambles, almost sneaks it in. Again, you got to think Hess right here on the keeper, or give it to your power back Davidson right here. Young man squats 500 pounds.
This is actually Burkhart in at quarterback now for Stockdale on the keeper. And he gets nothing.
And that's Burkhart. He may be the
Kind of a
stronger,
wildcat.
right. There you
Exactly.
go. The stronger runner of the two.
And that may be the strategy because Burkhart remains in there at
That's right.
quarterback. Second down and 4. Gradowitz down to about the 1.
Dan Gratter is down at the run. You see a different variation of that spread offense going to a fly sweep. It's rare you see the quarterback reverse out like that when you run the fly sweep, but again, very effective.
So Burkhart remaining at quarterback in
right.
that Wildcat setup. third down and goal from the 1. Wide open, untouched, touchdown.
Burkhart again, Dan, with the read. Touchdown, Stockdale. Burkhart coming into the game. The young man listed, as we watch the replay, the young man listed at 5'10", 170. It is just is a monster running the football right now. Again, but just taking what the defense is giving him. Wide open hole right there. You have to have some type of pressure when down here on the goal line if you're Sunnyside.
Dwayne Hartman in to try the extra point. Kick good, but we've got a penalty on the play. Never saw these officials ever signal. Now they do signal that extra point was good, putting Stockdale up by a 14-6 score with 2:14 to go here in the first quarter of play.
And that's a long drive. I know we had some weird things take place, but again, it looks like this could be a heavyweight fight tonight. Both teams going back and forth. For the Sunnyside Wildcats and Coach Wood, I think you have to address those penalties early on. You might need to rally your team or bring them up and have a discussion where you're talking about playing a little bit smarter and playing with a little more discipline, Dan.
Indeed, penalties have been a huge problem for them. They've had the 3 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties thus far in the first quarter.
Right.
And 2 of them, they directly led to that scoring drive. So,
and one of the penalties now assessed on the kickoff. If you see where the ball is being spotted right now.
Indeed, Stockdale will kick off from the Sunnyside 45-yard line. Official having a chat back deep with Devon Jones at the goal line. And I've got to believe that this crazy turn of events is the topic of conversation. Kickoff taken at the goal line. Jones with some room on the far side, out to the 30-yard line before he is brought down.
I think that may be number 7.
Might be David McGee, you're right.
Yeah, right. McGee or number, is that number 2 or number 7?
Correction, I do think that, yeah, I'm not sure. I think that may be Dakota Sneed, number 2.
That's right. There you go. Sneed on a kickoff return, just using his speed, running down the sideline.
So Sunnyside starts their third possession. They'll begin at the 32-yard line. Playing a bit of catch-up here. 14-6 Stockdale out in front with 2:04 to play here in the first quarter from Sunnyside Stadium. Give goes to Jones. Jones picks up about 5 before he's brought down.
I was always taught, Dan, a great sign of a good back is one that keeps his feet moving and always falls forward. You see the young running back Jones right there. Again, that outside read play, attacking the short side of the field, continues to pound that Stockdale defensive front.
Vu calling the signals out of the pistol. Behind him is Jones. Going to the air. Nope, going down. Loss of 3.
I tell you what, you have to love the young quarterback, Vu, his ability to try to sit in the pocket and tries to continue to look downfield for something to happen right there. But you have that alarm in your head, Dan, has to go off.
Well, you're right. You have coaches that'll say, stay in the pocket, stay in the pocket, stay in the pocket, because if you run, nothing good's going to happen.
Right.
But at the same time, when it gets to be that point, the alarm's got to go off and you got to run.
Correct.
Inside of a minute here in the first quarter. Ooh, looks to be changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
Swing by the back.
Oh, and the receiver was hung up by a linebacker.
That's right.
And the Sunnyside coaches are furious that should be a penalty.
It's either a miscommunication between Vu and his receiver or was hung up by the linebacker. But the linebackers are taught to get their hands on the receivers. So
4th down, and Sunnyside's going to have to punt the football away. 42 seconds left on the clock here. Mason Wright deep to field the punt.
And I tell you what, they're short a man on the field right now, but Sneed is the punter. Now, if field position was great, a young man as athletic as Sneed, I would love to see maybe a fake here or something. This is terrible field position for a fake. Oh, there.
They got a hand on it. And we're able to return it to about the 26-yard line.
Dan, you see that rugby-style punt attempted, but what they were doing is setting up a potential fake. You saw the two guys pull. You saw Sneed roll out. If it was open, I'm almost positive he's taught to run that football, Dan.
And it looked like there was room to
That's
the
right.
inside.
It did. It did. Now, again, excellent field position for Stockdale.
The Mustangs, 1st and 10 at the Sunnyside, 27-yard line. Timeout call. The officials take timeout. 33 seconds left. And the official is coming over to the near side. I believe he's coming over to... Is he looking for Gordon Wood?
Maybe a clock adjustment potentially.
They're not sure what that was about. The official actually coming over here to the running track, trying to get the attention up in the press box. And you know what it might have been? I wonder if it was the band.
Oh, playing during the play?
Yeah.
Yes, playing music during the play.
That may well have been that he was trying to get the attention of the band. How about playing music during the play? Fumble.
And the ball's on the ground again.
And Sunnyside does recover. The give to their big back Davidson, and he lost the handle on it for the second time tonight. And with 24 seconds left in the quarter, Sunnyside takes over.
Again, Davidson, their senior tailback, Dan, that's 2 fumbles tonight before the half by their senior tailback.
So Sunnyside coming away with the football, and they will take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line, 28-yard line. Vu snapping the signals. Jones alongside. Takes the handoff. Gets a block. Across the 30, ridden out of bounds at the 33.
And I tell you, that's a great block by their number 1 receiver out to the left right here. The young man cracked down on the linebacker, giving his back space to hit that sideline.
Take one more look at it.
I'm impressed with the way Sunnyside's running the football.
They're running it very effectively. You're right. 18 seconds to go in the quarter. 1st and 10, now at the 32-yard line.
Empty set.
Flushed from the pocket. Throws deep. Penalty flag down. Overthrows his man. More than likely, we've got a hold.
That's right. That's right. That's the first time tonight we've seen Sunnyside come out of that empty formation. And you run an empty formation just to spread those guys out on the box a little bit.
Well, once again, penalties doing in the Sunnyside High Wildcats. That has been a frustration throughout the night.
It has been. I tell you what, I love the confidence in the young quarterback, Vu. He's trusting his receiver to make a play. Hey, I'll put the ball up, you go get it.
Indeed, it was a hold that takes it back to the Sunnyside 21-yard line, and they need to get to the 38-yard line, 39-yard line for a first down. So it'll bring up 2nd and 17. Vu, bit of a blitz, but he's got the screen. If he can shirk the man, he's got first down yardage, but another penalty flag comes out, and what is the call going to be?
I'm willing to bet that's going to be a hold, Dan.
I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to keep you in the game.
Got a block in the back.
Interesting call. Looked like a block in the back. Wouldn't have been hand to the face, would it? But it's going to get marched off against the Wildcats, so another penalty causing frustrations and a loss of yardage back to the 15-yard line.
And it was a great call by Coach Wood.
So that will bring up a 2nd and 23 from the 15. Vu with a screen to Jones. Brought down after a gain of about 1.
That's right. Here we go. We have a delayed route by the running back. He simply slips through that A gap. He's trying to leak out right there. Vu hits him. We're just trying to catch those linebackers peeking inside with the hopes of losing sight of that running back right there. And that's the quarter.
And that wraps up our first quarter of play from Sunnyside Stadium, as the visiting Stockdale Mustangs sit on top by a 14-6 score. Paris, we've seen a lot of action, but what we've also seen is the officials taking a lot of it away.
Well, that's right. Yes, I mean, some could say it's the officials, some could say it's these young men.
No, not blaming the officials at all. They're the ones doing the marching.
There you go.
But it's the result of what's happening with the players.
That's right. We're talking 5 penalties in one half of football for Sunnyside. We're talking about a team that wanted to come in and wanted to start fast, but they have absolutely, Dan, killed themselves with horrible, horrible penalties, creating excellent field position for Stockdale.
3 personal foul or unsportsmanlike conduct penalties were very, very lethal to some drives that they had developed. There were also some costly fumbles.
That's
Both
right.
teams with some costly fumbles. So let's take a look at that last penalty call and see if we can pick it up.
That's got to be a block in the back.
We saw there, yeah.
That's got to be a block in the back.
So the Wildcats with the football here, 3rd and 23. Off their own 17-yard line. Ball's going up in the air. Vu flush from the pocket. Now he's got a man open. Can he get it to him? No.
And that's an interception. That's Stockdale ball.
Mason Wright spied that route. He could see exactly how it was developing.
That's right.
He knew where the ball was going to go and slipped right in front of that receiver to pick the pass off.
And that's a poor read by the young quarterback, Vu, who rolled to the right. The running back was on a wheel route, Dan, right up the numbers right here, but you cannot throw into triple coverage.
Thought he had his receiver a step behind it.
That's
thought he
right.
could make something happen. And unfortunately, what did happen was disaster. As you see him flushed from the pocket. Got a nice throw out, nice looking ball, but looked headed to land in the arms of his receiver, but defender came across and pulled it down.
There we go. We got the give on the fly sweep.
That is Gradowitz on the fly sweep again, picking up about a yard.
Now for Stockdale, again, they want to get something going on this drive. A little slower pace than we saw in the first quarter, Dan.
Well, I think both these teams came in feeling that this was going to be an evenly matched game.
Yes.
Even though obviously Sunnyside 0-4, Stockdale 2-2, but they played very strong non-conference opponents. As that one goes down to about they'll spot it at the 43-yard line.
And there you see the give to Davidson. You see how explosive this young man could be if he could just hold on to the football tonight.
2 costly fumbles in the first quarter, but they keep going back to him. There are coaches in this game at every level that if a running back loses the football, he is not seeing the field for the rest of the night.
That's right, and I can attest to that. My running backs coach at Fresno State, John Settle, hey, if you couldn't hold on to the ball, you were watching the game.
Before the snap, a penalty is whistled. No, correction, timeout. Timeout taken by the Mustangs. So they will go over to speak to their coach on the far sideline.
Timeout.
And the Wildcats will come to the near sideline to talk to their defensive coordinator. And thus far, Paris, we have seen a little bit of everything.
We have seen a little bit of everything, but what's surprising me, Dan, I'm looking at a team in the Sunnyside Wildcats that have been outscored 148-57 in their last 4 games. They don't look anything like that tonight. They look like a team that's besides the penalties, they're moving the ball well. I mean, again, the Stockdale coach was quoted by saying they're better than what they are. So that's what we're seeing tonight. I see a team, you take away those penalties, man, and they're moving the football. They look great.
Penalties and turnovers have really hurt Sunnyside thus far through the first half, but they've had their share across the way as well. They've had costly fumbles that have killed a couple of big drives.
That's right.
In great field position. So Sunnyside has dodged some bullets as well as had some problems. Twice we've seen Stockdale start drives in the red zone only to cough up the football.
Very true.
So we go with a 3rd and 5 for the Mustangs now from the Sunnyside 44-yard line. Big play for Sunnyside. And this is still Burkhart in the backfield. Short pass to Davidson. First down before he is taken.
And he has fumbled again.
He was rocked at the 30-yard line, and the ball came loose.
Again, that slow developing screen right there by Stockdale. You see how explosive Davidson again can be, but the young man cannot hold on to the football. What a crushing hit by the outside linebacker for Sunnyside.
But it appears that one of his teammates managed to get on the football. Stockdale maintains possession. They may be saying he was, no, because they're spotting the ball up at the 22-yard line. And he was hit back at the 30.
That was Bonds on the big hit.
Quick pass. And it picks up some impressive yardage inside the 10.
Definitely quick pass, hitting right underneath your linebackers right there. Stockdale looking to put one in.
Indeed. Ball now at about trying to tell at that angle. Looks like about the 7-yard line. Yeah, 1st and goal from the 8-yard line now for Stockdale. Burkhart still in at quarterback. He's going to keep it. Brought down just short of the 5-yard line.
And Burkhart again on that read, using his ability to run the football. You have to think they're going to continue to go to Burkhart and his ability to run here, Dan.
Are you a little surprised that we have not seen Hess in a while?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. You have to wonder if it's an injury or what the situation is going over there with Stockdale.
Burke now from the pistol. Davidson to his right. Burke keeps it up the middle. Touchdown. Stockdale once again, similar play to what we saw their last touchdown, right up the gut.
There we go. And if you're not disciplined, as we watch the replay, Burkhead's ability to run and make that read and run the football right up the middle. You have to read your keys and stay disciplined. You lose sight of the quarterback, and he'll continue to gas you all night long. Touchdown, Stockdale.
So Dwayne Hartman on for the extra point try. Is Stockdale now up by a 20-6 count on the Wildcats. Kick splits the uprights, and Stockdale now extends their lead to 21-6 with 9:11 remaining here in the first half of play. So you could say that if Sunnyside didn't have any bad luck, they wouldn't have any luck at all tonight. Down 21-6 now here in the second quarter. But they have moved the football effectively. Penalties, fumbles, interceptions. Once again, it was a costly turnover that put the ball in the hands of the Mustangs and set them up on the drive.
You see Coach Wood addressing his team right here, and he's telling his team, listen, let's hold on. No more dumb penalties, and we're in this game. Right now, the score is 6-21. We're okay. Just calm down.
Still a lot of football to be played. They're moving the ball well on offense. As you see, right up the gut. Good block. Their 3rd touchdown of the night, and they sit on top 21-6.
That's right.
So Hartman to kick off, and an 8-man. Devon Jones to the near side. Dakota Sneed at the top of your screen. You see Sneed there to your right. And the ball goes to one of the up men. That's Kevin Ward with the football. Trying a little shake and bake there out to the 26, 27-yard line.
And Dan, we had the opportunity to talk to Coach Wood pre-show, and one of the things he did mention was this team is young. This is a young team. And one of the things he indicated was, can we handle the adversity? I think he's going to find out right now if his team is going to be able to handle this adversity, stay calm, stay disciplined, especially with 9 minutes going into the half.
Well, what we saw back in the first quarter was right after Stockdale scored, Sunnyside got a nice drive going and showed that they could shake it off and come right back and not be fazed by it, only to have costly penalties. Give going to Jones. He's brought down after a pickup, maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
And we have a push by one of the Stockdale defensive linemen on Jones while out of bounds.
Let's take another look at it.
And there's the push, Dan. It's always the guy that gets caught last. That's the saying.
That's
and
right.
The young man did get caught last.
And 15 yards is the end result, brings the ball out to about the 44-yard line. So a break for the Wildcats as they've had their share go against them.
And that's that linebacker, Michael Gabaldon, the young man who got the penalty called on him.
Vu, the quarterback, in the pistol once again. His O-line gets set. He's going to swing it out. Incomplete.
We have a swing by the running back right there, but that linebacker played it well. Stayed home, spied the back.
Definitely under pressure, and that pressure affected that throw.
That's right.
So Sunnyside, the recipient of a break, and they need to take advantage on this drive, no question. Give to Jones, trying to find some room. There is none, and he's going to lose 5 yards. Takes the ball back to the 40-yard line. And it's going to bring up, I believe, third and about 19.
That's a third and 19. I mean, you don't have many plays in your playbook for third and 19, but what I don't like from Sunnyside is the pace that they're moving at right now, Dan.
Third and 15, actually. Who steps up. He's going to keep it to the near side. He's got a little bit of a break, able to get it to the 50, and that'll be 4 yards short of the first down.
And we talk about that young, smart Vu right now, the young man choosing to slide and take an additional hit right there. You got to love it.
They are beginning to get more and more pressure.
That's right.
On the young quarterback.
Smart
shrinking
decision.
that pocket very quickly.
Smart decision by Vu just to tuck the ball and to run it, Dan.
They're going to go for it here on 4th and 7. Vu flinging it to the near side. Incomplete off the helmet of a defender. And the ball will go over to Sunnyside on down.
Again, I don't mind the play call, Dan.
So the Stockdale.
Right. I don't mind the play call. Excellent defensive play by Stockdale, the safety coming over. But, hey, he had an opportunity. Again, he's the kind of quarterback, and he has that crop of receivers. Give me a shot. Give me an opportunity to make a play on the ball. That wasn't a bad ball.
Not at all. Not at all. But his receiver was double covered. That was going to be a tough one to complete. So Stockdale takes over 1st and 10 at the Sunnyside 48-yard line. And the pressure's on the Sunnyside defense.
Yes, it is.
Hold and to get the ball back. 7:22 and counting here in the second quarter. Give again. Going to Davidson.
That's right. Going to Davidson again.
Lost 2.
Lost 2. I mean, Coach Sheldon has great faith in his senior running back, who's put 3 on the turf tonight in one half of football.
And the Mustangs taking a look at the play call from the sideline before getting into their positions.
In no hurry, Dan.
Not at all. clock is their 12th man. Evan Burkhart. We have not seen their usual quarterback, Joseph Hess, since very early. Burkhart's throw shows you why he is normally the starting quarterback.
That's right. And we were watching warm up, and we were talking about how Hess throws a really beautiful ball, and we see that simple bubble screen right there. Burkhart unable to connect with his receiver, throwing what we call offensively called a dirt ball. But again, maybe that's not the young man's skill set. We've seen his skill set, his ability to make that read and run that football.
And it's very impressive. 3rd and 13 now from the 49-yard line for the Mustangs. Burkhart was taking a look at that little play sheet on his wristband. Gives it another check.
Sunnyside dialing up some pressure here.
Over the middle. Oh, in and out of the hands of 2 defenders, and then a second Stockdale receiver.
I love the defensive adjustment right there. It looked as if they were dialing up some pressure with those 2 inside backers in that 4-2, but then they dropped back in the zone, so disguise it a little bit, maybe confusing Burkhead a little bit.
Yeah, take another look as he fires right down the middle. A couple of defenders there, and almost the not intended receiver became the receiver.
That's
but
right.
The ball was in and out of his hands. So they're going to put it away here on 4th and 13.
Sneed back deep to return.
Big punt, bounces at the 10-yard line, and now Sneed grabs it, tries to make something out of it, but he's brought down at about the 13. 6:21 to go here in the first half. Sunnyside with the football once again. What adjustments will Stockdale make on defense? And how will Sunnyside handle it?
Well, if you're Sunnyside, Dan, you got to go fast. You got to look at the clock here. You got to look at a couple plays, maybe 1 or 2 plays being called in, get in some type of rhythm. And what you cannot do for that Sunnyside offense is turn the ball over with 6:21 right before the half. You know, Stockdale, you can't play. They sit in that soft 2 like they've been doing. What I don't like with Stockdale is the depth of their safeties.
Give going to Jones. He's got some yardage, trying to evade defenders. We've got a penalty flag, and that's in the area where it's usually holding.
And that's going to be holding on the receiver, number 8. For Sunnyside.
Jones was out around first down yardage, but it looks like it's all coming back.
Oh, yeah, that's that outside receiver, Van, I believe, looking at the roster. And if we watch the replay, you can clearly see this hold.
Nope.
Yeah, that's right.
It is a block below the knees on
block
Stockdale.
below. Wow.
So another big break for Sunnyside, as that ball is going to get marched out to beyond the 35-yard line.
And Dan, that is a break for Sunnyside.
They're going to spot it at the 39-yard line and give Sunnyside a first down. It was a block below the knees. So a big break for the Wildcats. Down 21-6 here with 6:10 remaining until the half. Vu, the screen.
The slip screen.
Sneed. If he can get away, he's got big yardage. He's got a first down, though, at the 50-yard line.
That's a good call. Well executed, Dan. Great call. Well executed by Sunnyside.
And the line judge looks as though he is going to spot it a yard short of the first down. Indeed, they put it at the 48.
That's a bad spot.
Bring up 2nd down and 1. He looked like he had gotten to midfield, but maybe the knee trailing was down. He was trying to he was trying to drag that defender.
Look at the pressure by that Stockdale defense.
And a big loss. Loss of 9 yards on that play.
Absolute huge loss. Their tackle was beat. We had a man shooting through the gap there. Vu, the only chance is to quickly step up in the pocket, but he was gobbled up by that Stockdale defense.
Big loss for the Wildcats. Crushing. Takes it back to the 41-yard line. A loss of 8. Brings up 3rd down. They need to get the ball to midfield. They need to pick up 9 to get the first down. They may have gotten the jump.
Nice hard count.
5 yards, still 3rd down.
So they get 5 of those yards back. Marches it up to the 46.
Hey, Dan, you got to think that they have to get the ball back to Jones and Williams and Snead. They're playmakers.
Jones with the football. No, it's on the ground again. And one of the big defensive linemen is off to the races before being hauled down from behind at the 15-yard line.
Scooped up by the big defensive tackle. I believe that may be number 64, Marcus Miller. But one of the problems as we watch the replay, Dan, when you're running this off, it's a read. So Vu had the opportunity to pull the football there and just lost hold of it. Big number 64, Marcus Miller, comes up with the scoop.
And Vu made the tackle.
That's right. Yes, he did. Touchdown saving tackle.
Oh, what a disaster there for the Wildcats on that play. Stockdale with a gift down at the 15-yard line. Burkhart overthrows his receiver.
Looking to attack that back pylon right there. That's not a bad throw. He threw it where only his receiver could have possibly caught that football.
4:18 remaining here in the first half. 21-6, Stockdale sitting on top of the Sunnyside High Wildcats. Glad you're with us here on CMAC. Dan Taylor with Paris Games from Sunnyside High Stadium in southeast Fresno.
And if you're Sunnyside, you look to come away with some points here in the red zone.
Burkhart keeping the football. He's got some running room. Bounces off tacklers. He's close to the first down marker.
The young man runs extremely tough. Pads lowered. Always makes the first guy miss. That's what we've seen here in the first half. I tell you what, as we watch the replay, I'm going back to Burkhart. Great kick out block by number 51. Burkhart so tough to bring down.
A lot of high tackling, and maybe they need to bring it down a little bit.
There you go, most certainly. We're talking about head across that Gator roll tackle. But Burkhart so tough with the football.
Third down and 1. Toss toward the end zone. Fight for the football.
Did Sunnyside come away with the football?
They are celebrating as if they did.
Yes, that is an interception, Dan. Sunnyside football.
Right down at the goal line.
Yes.
So the Wildcats come up with an interception at the goal line. What a break again for Sunnyside. Burkhart under pressure. And that was just wrestled away from the receiver.
That's right. That's number 1, Mason Wright. Wrestling the football away.
Jaden Bonds for Sunnyside wrestling it away there.
Excuse me.
So a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. 3:18 as you see to play in the first half. Plenty of room to run.
And there you go.
Snead.
There you go. Snead with the football on that slip screen.
Out near the 20-yard line. First down for Sunnyside. 3:07 and counting.
Again, the offensive tempo has to improve, Dan. You see a lot of guys, they're waiting for the signals to come in.
Now, is that the product of a young quarterback? Whereas by the time he's a junior or senior, he'll have a better command of the offense?
You would think, but with under 3 minutes to go here, and now they call timeout. See, you get 2 plays in, and you can save that timeout. You get your offense going.
So Sunnyside takes a timeout. Wildcats trying to mount a drive here before the halftime gun. Trailing 21-6 here at Sunnyside Stadium. But they have just dodged a bullet, ripping the ball away from the receiver at the 1-yard line, and now they have brought it out to the 30-yard line. A correction, the ball at 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. They need to have the 30-yard line for a first down.
Curious to see what Coach Wood dials up here on first down. Traditionally, they've thrown the ball on first down.
If you've just joined us, fumbles and big penalties.
That's right.
Have been the story of this first half. First and 10 for the Wildcats at the 20-yard line.
We have a safety rotating late over.
Vu steps up. He's in the arms of a defender, and down he goes. Loss of about 5.
Loss of about 5. That's a big, strong defensive tackle.
Came right up the gut, shirked his man. Bit of a swim move, got right by his man. Was able to fling Vu down at the 15-yard line. Brings up second down, 15.
Fly sweep action.
This is Jones out to the 20. Picks up 5.
Jones with the ball on that fly sweep action. You've got to think Coach Wood is going to go back to the wide side of the field here as the clock continues to tick. Now under 2 minutes.
Yeah, the blockers just had not set up for him. Third down and 10. 1:47, and we've got whistles on the field.
You have your receiver one-on-one.
Again, whistles stop the play dead. Don't see a penalty flag. I guess it's a timeout. So a timeout with 1:35 left here in the second quarter. Sunnyside trying to get on the board and close the gap as they trail 21-6 here to the Stockdale High Mustangs from Bakersfield.
Right before the timeout, Dan, you had a one-on-one situation with Ward and Wright right here, closest to the Sunnyside bench. You think Vu, who's thrown that beautiful ball all night, Coach Wood may dial up another shot here. Again, one-on-one right here. Safety's now cheating over.
Vu looks to the near side, now looks down the middle, overthrows his man off the arms of a defender, incomplete.
Vu is definitely a gunslinger. He's definitely a gunslinger. He takes shots. He will definitely take a shot downfield.
He's not afraid to challenge defenders.
No, he's not.
Throw into traffic. But on fourth down, Sunnyside's going to boot the football away. Last time they punted, it did not have good results.
It did not. It did not.
It looked as though they were trying at that time to set up for a fake. And Stockdale was able to get a hand on a punt in good field position. This is a very short punt. Will bounce at the 35 and is down by one of the Wildcats at the 37-yard line. So with 1:01 to play here in the first half, Stockdale will take possession at the Sunnyside 36-yard line, and the Mustangs lead 21-6.
Again, with excellent field position. With a minute to go, right before the half. With so many stall drives in the red zone, I'm sending out my field goal team, Dan.
Getting them warm on the sideline.
That's right.
For sure. And penalty flags fly. Offsides, illegal motion. Stockdale marches it back 5 yards. Spotted at the 39, or correction, the Stockdale 41-yard line. So first and 15 for the Mustangs.
Trips to the left.
Burkhardt looking to set up a screen. Incomplete. In and out of the arms of his receiver.
Davidson.
Indeed.
Young man has shown flashes of that dynamic, explosive back, but, putting 3 on the carpet and his inability to come up with the football right there. I mean, you have to think going into halftime, that young man is going to erase what's going on in the first half and come out and look to have a much better half of football.
56 seconds left in the half. Second down and 15. Burkhardt. He's got a man who's got a block. And he's got room to run. Inside the 10, down to the goal line. Touchdown. Stockdale scores again with 44 seconds remaining. So Burkhart hitting Brandon Dunn.
Brandon Dunn, just great athletic ability on a hitch play, Dan, just taking it to the house, dragging defenders into the end zone. And I'm almost positive they didn't dial it up like that, but wow, his ability to make guys miss. Touchdown, Stockdale.
So now, once again, that short punt.
Again, right.
Gave Stockdale great field position.
That's right. That's right.
And the extra point is good. So the Mustangs sitting on a 22-point advantage here with 44 seconds to play in the first half from Sunnyside Stadium. Another big break received in the form of the short punt gave them a great starting opportunity on that drive, and they took full advantage. And that swing pass going down the far sideline all the way for a touchdown, their fourth of the night.
That's right, and Dunn just taking that quick pass all the way to the end zone, breaking several tackles, stiff-arming the last defender into the end zone. They have so many playmakers that can do so many different things in space. If you're Sunnyside, Dan, now 28-6, I mean, do you think about running plays right now at this point, or do you think about kneeling it and going into the half and regrouping and coming out? Or potentially risking disaster and giving the ball back to Stockdale with only 44 seconds left to go.
Good question. Good question. We're going to see what Gordon Wood decides to do, but he's got his entire defense down under the tent at the 40-yard line looking at video.
There's a pooch kick.
Yeah, indeed. Taken by the up man. That's number 6, Jimmy Gomez, who gets it across midfield. Pushed out at the Stockdale 49-yard line.
And I'm not sure who the special teams coach is over on Stockdale, but a pooch kick in that situation, you haven't done that all night. Obviously, is to avoid the dangerous kickoff returner back there for Sunnyside. But, I mean, in that kind of situation, you want to kick the ball a little bit deeper. You don't want to kick it through the end zone, but you want to kick the ball a little bit deeper, Dan.
So Sunnyside with a 1st and 10 at the Stockdale 49-yard line. 38 seconds to play. Vu. He's got some pressure. Looks like he was not on the same page with his receiver who turned him, and the football
That's right.
was thrown to the outside.
Receiver for Sunnyside, I believe that's Sneed. Again, looked like he was running that 10-yard hitch. Vu just overshooting his receiver, but again, that cover 2 look, the safety was right there.
Sneed and Wright from Stockdale having some words. The official trying to stand between them, waving his hands, telling him to knock it off. Jones gets around the far side, picks up about 4, but a penalty flag was thrown.
That's right, on that sideline. Maybe a legal formation.
We've got a motion penalty.
Wow.
You want the penalty? You want to take him back 5?
Then I believe that might be number 8 as far as flags thrown for Sunnyside in one half of football. Just absolutely killing these young men. They have to go in and address that. They have to.
3 of them unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. That's right. 45 yards right there. But you're right. This is another one that gets marched back 5, and they start a drive all over. 2nd down, 15 from the 46. Over the middle, high throw, pulled down, 1st down.
I love the play call. I absolutely love the play call, sneaking right underneath those linebackers. You see how deep those safeties were playing, not giving up anything deep.
Van, the receiver, had to reach for that one, pulled it down, and had some running room and made something out of it.
Excellent pitch and catch. Young man securing the football for Sunnyside. A timeout called.
With 9 seconds to play, I would imagine it's fling it to the end zone.
That's right. You got to take another shot at the end zone right here, Dan.
So frustrating half of football for the Wildcats, who no doubt will go into the locker room and hear some blistering words from the coaching staff about penalties and shooting themselves in the foot. But also at the same time pointing out that based on the way they've run their offense, it could be a much different ball game if it were not for those flags. We've seen Stockdale with turnovers, the 3 fumbles by their featured tailback, and also the ball that was an interception, but was actually just wrestled to the goal line out of the hands of the Stockdale receiver. Boo calling out the signals, looking for his receivers. He goes deep. Incomplete. Clock stops with 3 seconds left.
Again, we knew it was coming. Trying to hit Snead down the sideline, just giving his receiver a chance. 3 seconds left on the clock. You take another shot.
One more chance. He's been picked off once tonight.
That's right.
Been more successful when he has gone over the middle as opposed to down either side. And of course the short screen passes have worked very well. It's been the deep balls going down the side that have been a bit frustrating. This will be final play of the first half. 3 seconds remaining. Wildcats trying to put another touchdown on the board, trailing by 22 at 28-6.
A delay of game.
Well, that'll bring it back 5 yards.
That's right.
And the ball, the nose of the football at the 43-yard line. So here we go. Final play of the half. 3 seconds remaining. Vu under pressure. Let's fly. It's going to overfly everybody. And that's the end of the first half. So an interesting first half to say the least. We've seen Sunnyside able to do some good things, but boy, those penalties have been very, very costly. Stockdale 28 points, and they can also say what might have been had they not coughed up the football, had they not had the big interception at the goal line.
And there you go. I mean, Sunnyside, if I'm Coach Wood, I'm saying, hey, listen, we do some things right, and we're right back in this game. 0-0, start of second half.
There you go. We'll be back in about 14 minutes and 39 seconds with more, but until then, we're going to tell you more about what's happening at CMAC.
CMAC empowers the members of the community to tell their story by offering them the opportunity to learn how to use video equipment, how to use the facilities we have to offer. CMAC is an organization that is devoted to allowing people to tell their stories. 99% of those organizations and individuals that have stories to tell have never been able to do it because they couldn't afford to. Now they can. CMAC empowers members of the community by offering them the opportunity to learn how to use all the wonderful equipment that we have available for them. And then once they've learned, using that equipment to create their own content.
The great thing about once someone has filmed and edited their video is that it is aired via Comcast and other channels, and this gives Arte Americas the opportunity to connect with outlying communities, people who may not have a chance to discover us any other way.
To see something that you've actually produced on a channel is fun for the first time, especially if you spent a lot of time with it. And it does take time to learn the programs.
Because you hear it all the time as a producer, we can help get you out there. But this is the real deal. There is no gimmicks. There are no type of games that they play. You produce the content, you follow the guidelines, it will air to the community and be an inspiration to the community.
CMAC is here to provide that venue. And it provides that venue to every aspect of the community, every part of the community. No one else does it that way. No one else offers that. The importance of CMAC's members cannot be overstated. CMAC is its members. We've trained hundreds of people. And we've already seen hundreds of stories, and the results of those stories are being felt in numerous ways.
I got involved with CMAC because a friend of mine already belonged, and we volunteered to film a fashion show, and because there were good classes for CMAC, they ran us all through all the instruments and equipment that we were going to be using. I felt good about the experience, and I felt really confident, and actually it was really a lot of fun too.
And the training is simple. You know, when I did it, I think I took 7 classes, and at the end of 7 classes, I got a certificate, and I started recording things. Anytime I've had questions, the staff here has been great, and they've given me the opportunity to try different things with whatever content I'm producing.
When I got around other members, seeing that they had different visions than I had, but that we could all partner together, it was just like a giant gumbo or a giant buffet of different ideas, different creators, but all with one purpose: to create quality content.
You can't do it all. You can't be the man in front and behind the camera for every production. CMAC needs volunteers because it's a community-based organization, and the more volunteers you have, the higher quality of production you can achieve in your program.
People can contribute to CMAC by just participating and coming up with your own clever ideas and coming to the functions, coming to the events.
I feel great about being able to send volunteers and people who are just connected with Arte Americas over to CMAC so they can develop their own art form. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find another organization providing this level of resources here to the Valley to anybody who is interested, motivated, and wants to sign up. It's incredible. We love having them across the street, and they really are adding to what the Central Valley is providing.
CMAC is an outlet for anyone who wants to get their message or their skills or their artwork or whatever it is out into the community. It's a professional atmosphere where you can get the help that you need to be able to produce your program, and as a result, Fresno gets so much more to see and find out about.
I mean, when I see the smiles when people come through on orientation, or when they're hanging out in class, or seeing their projects being on the big screen in the lobby or on TV, that's magic. I mean, it's one thing to hope to do something, but it's another thing to help people fulfill and be that servant in the community. And that's what CMAC is. CMAC serves to help fulfill people's dreams.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing. I watch golf with him, and
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
CMAC empowers the members of the community to tell their story by offering them the opportunity to learn how to use video equipment, how to use the facilities we have to offer. CMAC is an organization that is devoted to allowing people to tell their stories. 99% of those organizations and individuals that have stories to tell have never been able to do it because they couldn't afford to. Now they can. CMAC empowers members of the community by offering them the opportunity to learn how to use all the wonderful equipment that we have available for them. And then once they've learned, using that equipment to create their own content.
The great thing about once someone has filmed and edited their video is that it is aired via Comcast and other channels, and this gives Arte Americas the opportunity to connect with outlying communities, people who may not have a chance to discover us any other way.
To see something that you've actually produced on a channel is fun for the first time, especially if you spent a lot of time with it. And it does take time to learn the programs.
Because you hear it all the time as a producer, we can help get you out there. But this is the real deal. There is no gimmicks, there are no type of games that they play. You produce the content, you follow the guidelines, it will air to the community and be an inspiration to the community.
CMAC is here to provide that venue. And it provides that venue to every aspect of the community, every part of the community. No one else does it that way. No one else offers that. The importance of CMAC's members cannot be overstated. CMAC is its members. We've trained hundreds of people. And we've already seen hundreds of stories, and the results of those stories are being felt in numerous ways.
I got involved with CMAC because a friend of mine already belonged, and we volunteered to film a fashion show, and because there were good classes for CMAC, they ran us all through all the instruments and equipment that we were going to be using. I felt good about the experience, and I felt really confident, and actually it was really a lot of fun too.
And the training is simple. You know, when I did it, I think I took 7 classes, and at the end of 7 classes, I got a certificate, and I started recording things. Anytime I've had questions, the staff here has been great, and they've given me the opportunity to try different things with whatever content I'm producing.
When I got around other members, seeing that they had different visions than I had, but that we could all partner together, it was just like a giant gumbo or a giant buffet of different ideas, different creators, but all with one purpose: to create quality content.
You can't do it all. You can't be the man in front and behind the camera for every production. CMAC needs volunteers because it's a community-based organization, and the more volunteers you have, the higher quality of production you can achieve in your program.
People can contribute to CMAC by just participating and coming up with your own clever ideas and coming to the functions, coming to the events.
I feel great about being able to send volunteers and people who are just connected with Arte Americas over to CMAC so they can develop their own art form. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find another organization providing this level of resources here to the Valley to anybody who is interested, motivated, and wants to sign up. It's incredible. We love having them across the street, and they really are adding to what the Central Valley is providing.
CMAC is an outlet for anyone who wants to get their message or their skills or their artwork or whatever it is out into the community. It's a professional atmosphere where you can get the help that you need to be able to produce your program, and as a result, Fresno gets so much more to see and find out about.
I mean, when I see the smiles when people come through on orientation, or when they're hanging out in class, or seeing their projects being on the big screen in the lobby or on TV, that's magic. I mean, it's one thing to hope to do something, but it's another thing to help people fulfill and be that servant in the community. And that's what CMAC is. CMAC serves to help fulfill people's dreams.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing. I watch golf with him and
I watch him cook because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Do it. For tonight's CMAC high school football battle, the Sunnyside High Wildcats impressive at times, but they're sitting on the short end of a 28-6 score here at the intermission. And we'll have some of the first half highlights coming up, but your thoughts on what we saw through the first two quarters?
Well, we're talking about a Sunnyside team that shot themselves in the foot. Penalty after penalty cost them field position, giving Stockdale great field position. Despite Stockdale's inability to convert in the red zone, we're looking at a score of 6-28. And if I'm Coach Wood, I'm telling my guys we have a puncher's chance here.
Let's take a look at some of the action from the early going here. Is Sunnyside, here they were starting a drive from the 1 yard line and had a great opportunity. They converted on the big play, but that ball came loose, and clearly it looked as though the receiver was down.
Clearly he was down.
But the officials gave that ball to Stockdale, and that infuriated the Sunnyside coaching staff to the point where they received 2 consecutive unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, gave Stockdale great field position, and they were able to use that field position well.
To punch it in. Here we go. Their young quarterback, Boo, right here on a screen. Well executed, but again, another penalty called on that play.
A block in the back, and it killed that drive.
Looking at Stockdale on that fly sweep.
Stockdale not going with their normal starting quarterback. They've gone with, well, somewhat of a wildcat quarterback, Burkett, and he has been effective. But there, once again, another big gain for Stockdale and a big break for Sunnyside as they were able to come up with a loose football.
That's a huge break for Stockdale. And again, and Burkhart just running the football just recklessly in for another score.
Somewhat of a wildcat attack as he did that twice. So there you see, I mean, Sunnyside had their opportunities on offense and just could not put points on the board. That was very costly as they were on the move again. The fumbled handoff. and it went down. Stockdale opened up in the red zone.
And there's the interception.
Indeed, the ball wrestled away from the receiver as they dodged the bullet big time on that one at the 1 yard line.
The score could be a lot worse. Coming up with a great play. Bonds for Sunnyside.
Both these teams with many, many more opportunities. This was Dunn who was able to take it in and score.
And Dan, that's just a great effort by we're talking about pitch and catch, backyard football, just quick hitch, making a guy miss right there. Another guy miss, breaking tackles, racing to the end zone, stiff-arming the last defender and carrying two more into the end zone. Great effort.
Reminds me of a former Fresno State receiver, last name of Dunn, a number of years
There you
ago.
go, that's right.
David Dunn had a nice run in the NFL. That was the desperation shot at the end of the first half, and our score 28-6, Paris. And now let's see what adjustments we're going to find from both of these teams in the second half.
Again, for Sunnyside, you have to, if you're Coach Wood, you tell your players 0-0. This is a new half. We have to come out. We have to execute. We have an opportunity on the first series to make some noise here, but they have to get something going, Dan.
Absolutely. So Sunnyside won the coin toss at the beginning of this one, and they elected to defer into the second half, so they will receive. Trailing 28-6, they've got to make something happen, though, right out of the chute. Again, we've talked about it in the first half. The Wildcats, bit of a rarity, a team in the area going with a sophomore as their starting quarterback, Ekin Vu, but he has shown great poise in the pocket. He has been under a lot of pressure, especially in the second half. When Stockdale made some adjustments, his throws to the outside, a little scary at times.
I think for this half, Dan, they need to get that a little under control there. He is a gunslinger. He loves to take shots downfield, but maybe something underneath, some crossing routes to get your playmakers the ball here in the second half.
Well, the second half of football is underway. A short pooch kick to one of the upbacks. That looks again like Jimmy Gomez, his second return thus far on the evening. Brings it out to about the 38-yard line. And that's where the Sunnyside High Wildcats will begin play. So Sunnyside coming in tonight 0-4, but certainly hoping that this will be the night they gel and prepare next week to begin North Yosemite League play. And there's some interesting NYL scores this far, Paris, in the first half.
That's right. We're looking at some scores coming out of the rest of the league. That's 13-7. McLean is up. Two undefeated teams, McLean and Yosemite, going at it. McLean up 13-7, and we're trying to find that Roosevelt score. We'll update you in a second, folks.
Some interesting scores. Feel free to dump them in there, whatever you like. As Devon Jones, the carrier of the football, gets it up to about the 41-yard line, 42-yard line. So a pickup of about 4 yards. Some tough running by Devon Jones.
Yes, it is. Liberty of Bakersfield is up on the undefeated Clovis High School, 27-3 at the half. And we have the Edison Tigers down 7-21 at the half.
Vu with a keeper up the middle. He's got a first down. He's across midfield into Stockdale territory.
And there we go, Vu with the keep. We're talking about that read play again that was so catastrophic in the first half. The young man able to keep the ball. That quick hitter picking up a first down.
And we did not see him keep the ball at all in the first half.
That's the first time we've seen that.
1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Vu with a give. Some tough running there by Jones down to the 45.
And that may be the first time we've seen in that formation, you're looking to run power, you're looking to run zone, but that's the first time. Normally they were attacking outside with Jones in the first half.
2nd down, 6. Vu, high snap, under pressure, just throws it away.
That's a broken play. That's a broken play.
A lot of pressure coming in from the far side. Forced him out of the pocket. And again, if you have just joined us, glad you're with us here on CBAC for high school football. Sunnyside in the dark blue, going from your left to right. Stockdale, the visiting team, up from Bakersfield, going from right to left. And Paris, the story about young Mr. Vu, who we saw 2 weeks ago wearing number 3.
That's right, a young man whose jersey just came up missing this week, having the opportunity to talk to Coach Gordon, and the young man was unfazed. He was forced to wear number 19 tonight. Yes, his number is number 3, but again, that speaks about his character. He wasn't really concerned about wearing number 19. He just wanted to come out here and lead his team to victory.
I know he's been playing well, but do you think it's signed on eBay?
It's out there somewhere, Dan.
That ball came loose, and they actually have given the additional yardage to the Wildcats, brought it out to almost the 40. And Jones on the carry gets a first down.
Jones on the carry getting a first down, grab from behind. I almost thought that was a horse collar by the way it looked like he was attempted, and that's a first down.
And you're seeing some signaling coming from the bench toward the officials, and they wondered that as well. So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the 38. Jones with the give. Tries to cut up, picks up about 2.
Another give to Jones, trying to attack the outside. Well played by Stockdale. You think again, now running to the short side of the field, that Coach Wood has something dialed up, going to the wide side of the field. Maybe another keeper by Vu. We've yet to see Sneed and Williams and Jones.
2nd down and 8. Halfback grabs that snap.
And the ball's out. The ball's out.
Defender trying to outrun Vu, and he's got nobody between himself and the end zone.
That's Mason Wright, Dan, coming up just in the right place at the right time. Now, touchdown Stockdale off another costly Sunnyside turnover, running this same play as we watch the replay.
Well, he turned back, ran into his own man, and the ball came loose.
But you have to secure the football right there, Dan.
Absolutely.
The young running back has to secure the football. Costly turnover. Stockdale touchdown off a turnover. Right place, right time. Mason Wright, the cornerback from Stockdale. And again, running the same play to the short side of the field again. I don't understand that. I don't understand that call.
It's hard to tell if it was a busted play or not. I mean, the running back just jumping in and grabbing the snap. I don't know if it was a trick play, a busted play. But Sunnyside falling farther behind now. 35-6 our score here from Sunnyside Stadium. The coaching staff having some words, trying to console.
That's Jones down there.
Devon Jones, one of the assistant coaches, talking to him and just trying to keep his head in the game and try to brush aside the frustration that no doubt has to be enveloping this young man. He's a very talented player. He's very competitive, wants to win, and is no doubt going through a lot of frustration right now.
Now this is where you rely on your coaching staff. You see the young man late on the field on a kickoff return. You know, you have to keep yourself poised. Yes, it's frustrating. You just fumbled a football. But as a running back, I know for a fact you have to gather yourself quickly and say, okay, next play.
So the Mustangs increase their lead, sitting on top now 35-6, and scoring in every way possible.
That's right.
And Sunnyside is at a point where they need desperately for something positive to happen. Drives Sneed deep from about the 5-yard line, bringing it to the near side. He's not going to reach the 20. He's down to the 15.
Tackled by a host of Mustangs.
So once again, the Wildcats will start in less than advantageous field position as you take a look at the return. As the blockers were set up to bring it to the near side.
They were set up, Dan, but not engaged. You have to get a body on a body right here to give your return man a chance.
So Vu Sneed now in the backfield. And he takes the handoff. And gets nowhere.
Again, a give to Sneed to the short side of the field. I'm not sure what they're trying to set up, but you would think you would run a fly sweep to the wide side of the field, giving your play. As we watch the replay here, Sneed with the ball on the outside arm, trying to get to the edge. Well played by Stockdale. A ball coming out, but you think Coach Wood would try to get his young men in a position to be successful. An empty formation here, Dan.
Boo going to the air, has a man open in the middle, and it's just a little too far. Van, the receiver, intended receiver.
Van right off the outstretched left arm of Van there, but open. He was open. Now maybe they should go back to that empty formation. Maybe they've discovered something there, some holes in that defense.
3rd and about 11.
Back to that empty formation, Dan.
Big play for the Wildcats. They looked to it, and the linebacker dropped back into coverage. Took that pass route away. They bring it to the near side, but it is well short of a first down.
That's well short, Dan. Not enough on 3rd down.
And Sunnyside is going to have to punt the football away.
You think you design a route or have a route where you at least run to get the first down or right on the stick right there. Just simply not enough.
Not the way the Wildcats wanted to come out to start the second half. So glad you're with us here on CMAC, Community Media Access, and a terrific job that they do in this community, providing opportunities for people of all ages to learn video production and develop the skills to get into the media profession. And here at Sunnyside High School, their Video Production Academy doing a terrific job. We have 14 Sunnyside High students involved in tonight's production of this football game. Each of them doing an outstanding job. This is a 3-year program, the Academy here at Sunnyside High School. And this year, 36 students signed up for it. It's a 3-year program, takes you through pre-production, production skills, post-production skills. Just began 5 years ago and already an award-winning program. They have great Academy programs here at Sunnyside. They're medical, they're media, they're ag, they're technology, doing an outstanding job. And I'm told that every one of the students that has graduated from this program has gained employment in the profession. So an outstanding vocational program here at Sunnyside High School, and we're delighted to be able to be a part of it, and that it is doing this production to bring high school football your way tonight here on Comcast, on AT&T, on YouTube Live, on Facebook Live. Glad you're with us here on CMAC.
Mason Wright set to return for the Mustangs.
Takes it at the 45. Able to get about 5 yards on that return. And that's where Stockdale will begin their possession. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line.
And folks, I do have an update as we watch the replay of that punt return. Mason Wright trying to split there. Great tackle by number 6 for Sunnyside. Mason Wright holding on to the football. I do have an update for that Roosevelt. They actually play next week. They have a bye this week. That's why I couldn't find the score, Dan. They're actually at Kerman. They have a bye this week and at Kerman next week.
Burkite. And once again,
that's Kylan Davidson, number 5.
Davidson, who has fumbled 3 times in this ball game, but still running very aggressively.
Yes, he is.
So no lack of confidence in him. They're still calling his number.
Go.
Used to be able to say calling his number in the huddle, but nobody huddles anymore.
Everyone wants to play fast, Dan.
Showing blitz. Davidson springs free. He's got a first down, and he's down to about the 26-yard line.
You got to love the cutback. We talk about vision. The young man obviously has that right there. Excellent jump cut, cutting back as we watch the replay. There you have it. Just so patient right there in the hole. Quick feet, covers up the football with 2 hands right there as he's going down. I'm sure that Stockdale coaching staff is preaching ball security with that young man.
Trips to the near side. The question is, do you make an issue of it, or do you know that he's a competitor and he's as frustrated as anybody, and you don't need to say anything? I would imagine there's 2 different schools of thought in how you coach a situation like that.
And I totally agree with you. I think you rely on your senior to just shake it off. Obviously, he's played ball there for 4 years, and you just rely on that accountability and that ownership and the team to say, hey, to rally behind their senior and say, hey, we're going to keep giving you the ball. We have a long season ahead of us. Obviously, they believe in the young man. He's come out. He's looking good, Dan.
2nd down and 7 from the 25. Burkhardt throwing, and it's complete.
No, that's incomplete.
He dropped the football. Brings up third down.
There you go. Well set up with a couple of runs by Davidson. Now you fake the Davidson and you try to hit that quick slant right there, but dropped by the Stockdale receiver.
So big defensive play coming up here for Sunnyside on third down. As the Wildcats trailing 35-6, trying to get back into this one. Whistles. Penalty is against Sunnyside.
Third down.
And they're going to have 5 yards marched off.
Now I'm a little bit confused by that call. I'm not sure what just happened.
Burkhardt to Davidson. Met by a trio of Wildcats who drive him back for a loss.
And there you go. You see that Sunnyside defensive front just coming alive, wrapping up the powerful Davidson.
So it's fourth down, and it would appear that Stockdale is going to go for it. Burkhardt seems to be hurting a little bit as he heads over to the sideline. And indeed, we're finally going to see Joseph Hess at quarterback. Burkhardt is holding an elbow or a wrist, and he's at about the 44-yard line, kneeling down. Looks like a guy who maybe just got hit on the funny bone.
That's right, but timeout Stockdale.
So Joe Hess comes in to play quarterback for Stockdale, and he has been their primary quarterback thus far on the season.
And we haven't seen him since the second series of the ball game?
I think you're right. 5 minutes remaining to be played here in the third quarter as Stockdale has gone up 35-6. Sunnyside in a frantic game of catch-up. They're moving the football, but still the frustration of turnovers and penalties. That big fumble that was run all the way back for the fifth score of the night by Stockdale has left a lot of the Wildcats appearing very, very frustrated as the mood has changed on their sideline.
Definitely. You can see it in these young men. You can see it in their body language. They desperately need a defensive stop right here.
So on 4th and 2, the Stockdale Mustangs are going to go for it. And Joe Hess is in the backfield at quarterback, flanked by Davidson. Hess dropping back, looking to throw the football. Over the middle, had a man, but he sailed it high and complete. And over on downs, the football goes back to the Sunnyside High Wildcats.
Now again, you bring Hess in for one play. He sat the entire ball game, and you bring him in to pass the football? You know, we've seen a lot of things tonight. I think that chalks up as one of those things, those strange things we've seen tonight. You bring in
a lot of head scratchers.
Right, that's
a lot of head
scratcher.
scratchers.
He's been sitting all night long. You bring him in for one passing play? Again, I'm a little bit confused here in the booth.
Now Burkhardt is at about the 44-yard line, and Trainer is standing with him as he is swinging his arm around. Whose pass deflected, knocked away at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete.
That's the big D tackle for Stockdale. As we check out the replay. That's a great job by the big defensive tackle, number 58 for Stockdale.
You know where you're supposed to kind of get a forearm in the belly, and that brings the arm down.
But Christian Dunez just doing his job right there.
That's right. On the keeper, gets about back to the line of scrimmage. Might have picked up a yard. And that'll bring up third down.
And Dan, that Stockdale defensive front, all well over 6'1", 6'2".
And they have been bringing some pressure throughout this one. High snap.
That's a screen set up.
Big loss on the play, as you can see.
Huge loss. You see the penetration. That was definitely a screen being set up right there. You see the penetration, allowing that defensive front to come through. And it's all about timing at that point. 1-1,000, 2-1,000, but
we've seen a couple, I think 3 times tonight, and I'm not so sure all 3 were not screens where the snap has been high.
Right.
Is that, I'm wondering, a case of a center that is so anxious to get out there on his block? That
it could be. It could be, as we just watched the replay right there. You see the back swinging out there, but just played well, so well by the Mustangs.
Ball punted away, and it hits the Sunnyside player on the top of the head. Rolls back to the 45. Wildcats will down it there.
What else could happen? That was an additional 5 yards. I'm not sure whether that ball had some backspin and was possibly going to roll back, but wow, bounce off a Sunnyside player and rolls an additional 6 yards.
So Stockdale takes over. 1st and 10. And the ball will be spotted back up at the 46-yard line of the Wildcats. Stockdale on top here, 35-6. With 3:21 to play here in the 3rd quarter from Sunnyside Stadium.
Hess into the ball game.
And he's going to run the football to the near side. Picks up about 3, maybe 4 if they're generous.
The quarterback keep off that left side with the back. Davidson leaving the way. Quarterback keep. Dialed up quarterback keep.
Join us next week for more high school football here on CMAC, as we will be at McLean Stadium, where Dos Palos, the Broncos, come into town to play the surprising McLean Highlanders, off to an undefeated start. Hess looking to throw the football. Slings it way over the head of his intended receiver. Penalty flag thrown. And that was
Gradowitz.
An illegal man downfield.
Illegal man downfield, but Gradowitz had a step again.
He did.
As you watch the replay, Gradowitz had a step right there. Hess just sailing the ball over the head of his open receiver.
Penalty decline.
All right, 3rd down.
And that will bring up a 3rd down and 7. Mustangs come to the line of scrimmage. Looking to the near side. Complete to the 28. Stepped out of bounds as he was trying to put a move on a Sunnyside defender and pick up a little bit more yardage. But David McGee with a catch down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
McGee just running that 10-yard corner out, coming wide open.
Here you see another look at it. McGee wanted to try to cut back, but that left foot just stepped out of bounds.
And I believe that's Hess's first completion.
I think you're right. There's the kid to Davidson, trying to make something happen, and for the second time, thrown for a loss.
And there you go. That's a great play by that defense. Just something to get them going. Jackson trying to bounce it outside. Great gator roll tackle right around the legs. Squeezing that defender, rolling him around.
Well, brings up a 2nd and 12 now. Pair of receivers to the near side.
You have to dial up some pressure right here, Dan.
Indeed.
Here it comes.
Davidson trying to break free. Pulls those defenders down to the 24-yard line.
Now, he ran that football like a young man that squats 500 pounds.
I was thinking the same thing as those legs were churning.
Great inside give, great hesitation, but again, keeping his legs going, getting some extra push by his lineman, refusing to go down. I love the effort.
Yeah, the other side of that, though, is everybody's trying to wrap him up high.
True.
Nobody's wrapping him around the calves. Quick out pass. That again is David McGee. Knocked out of bounds. Looked like maybe a yard shy of the first down marker. We'll see how they spot it.
Quick out, easy pitch and catch. Pass to McGee.
Brings up a 4th down and 1 for the Mustangs. And the offense stays on the field.
They're in no hurry here with just 17 ticks left in the quarter.
They are looking at the clock and walking back over to their sideline. They're going to let the clock run down and send us into the 4th quarter here from Sunnyside Stadium with the Stockdale Mustangs from Bakersfield 35, Sunnyside High 6. So we've talked about CMAC, and if you have ever had an inkling to want to get into any form of video production or work in television production, take a look at their website at cmac.tv. Get information on their opportunities at the building downtown. Cesar Perez and the team here doing an outstanding job, as always, on our high school football telecast. Jerry Lee, the guy in charge there at CMAC, and I still say, Cesar, we've got to find a way to get him on mic down here. This is a guy that back in the 70s, Jerry called some Nebraska football and came out west to San Francisco and called World Team Tennis. He was outstanding. It was when I first met Jerry. It was either the late 70s, early 80s when he was at KMVR in San Francisco. Very talented guy, and now doing some wonderful things for the community, as are all the crew there with CMAC. So glad you've joined us on CMAC here, on either on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, AT&T, or on Comcast Xfinity. So 4th and 1 for Stockdale High. They're going to go for it. Ball the nose of the football at the 20-yard line. And Stockdale sitting on a 35-6 advantage.
Quarterback keep from Hess.
And he's going to have the first down and more. Hess patiently followed those blockers and muscled his way down inside the 15-yard line. And Stockdale will have a first down at the 14.
I'm curious, because of the score, if they're just going to wind the clock.
It certainly looks that way. They're in no hurry to get up to the line of scrimmage.
That's right.
Just taking their time. Hess flanked by Davidson in the backfield. And that's Wilford in motion.
And that's well played by the Sunnyside defensive front.
Well, as both coaches said, they do a lot of similar things on offense.
That's right.
So I think when some of these plays begin, it's just like practice. As you take another look, as Wilford came around.
That fly sweep, number 1. I believe that's Bonds. Jaden Bonds right there. Great hit on the stop.
So 2nd down and 8. Pass to Davidson. Davidson down to the 8-yard line.
Again, the young man Davidson still running hard. Coach Wood dial up a blitz right there. Stockdale able to pick up that blitz. And the back continues to turn his legs and fall forward. Dan, you have to tell your defense right now, not only do we have to dig, but we have to strip that football. You want to wrap up, you have someone to jar that football loose. Something has to happen here.
They need a break.
Yes.
Definitely need a break here. 3rd down and 5, balls on the 9-yard line. Hess with a keeper. Pulled down by the jersey at about the 7.
Coach Wood had the blitz dialed up, but picked up well by the left tackle for Stockdale. That's a great block.
That was Miles Williams, as you notice, number 11, with that long arm, grabbing jersey and being able to slow Hess down. And Williams' teammates were able to come in and finish the job. 4th and 3, 4th down and 3. Hess with a keeper, follows his blockers. Breaks free for the first down, down near the goal line. Is he in? He is in. Touchdown for Stockdale High School.
Touchdown, Stockdale. The Mustangs score again on a keeper by Hess. As we watch the replay, Dan, you pull both of your guards, and at that point, when they turn up, you turn up. That's a simple read, and Hess scores on the ground for Stockdale. Another quarterback keep touchdown, just again playing very physical, dominating the line of a scrimmage.
Dwayne Hartman to attempt the extra point. And it is up and good. So the Mustangs extend their lead to 42-6. And parents, one of the things I noticed on that is stripping the football.
That's
the defender just grabbed him and was worried more about trying to strip the football. I don't know if you're down to the goal line and it's just a desperation move. You look at that sometimes and you think, wrap him up.
Right.
Wrap him up. But
yeah, you want to wrap up. You want to wrap up. You want to wrap up and rally. I think that's the right term for it defensively, is wrap up and rally. And when I'm talking about stripping the football, once you wrap, I'm talking about the next guy coming and stripping that football out. You're that close to the goal line. It's much more important, yes, you're right, to make that tackle and wrap up than to try to strip the football. Again, but a great call, a great offensive call, pulling both guards, and Hess just running behind bodies easily into the end zone. And I want to go back to a quote by Coach Brett Shelton, pre-game. He said, "We want to win the line of scrimmage and win the physical battles." And there you see it right there, winning the physical battle right there.
They have to be very happy at this point. With 8:33 remaining to be played, sitting on top 42-6, and they have been doing it with a very physical brand of football. Very short kick. Jimmy Gomez with his third return of the night. And he's run out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. So Sunnyside once again will try to get something going. They have not since the early stages of the first quarter. They have been thwarted by major penalties. They have been thwarted by turnovers.
Another penalty. That's holding. Holding on a return.
That ball has marched all the way back to the 25-yard line. So the Wildcats will start possession at their own 25. And for the first time tonight, we see Sergio Munoz in the backfield behind Ekenvu, who is motioning him where to go. And it's a bad snap over Vu's head. He just has to dive on the football, smother it at the 10.
I mean, at this point, what else can happen? What else can happen?
That's about the fourth high snap tonight. And I think it's the second one for a big loss.
I believe now the penalty count is around 12. 12. And you cannot win a football game with that many penalties.
Not at all.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago, the little things will cost you a football game. And those are one of the things that's costing Sunnyside tonight.
Munoz pretty much took the handoff.
He did.
And gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. Or correction, gets it back to the line of scrimmage.
And then I know Coach Wood is a San Diego guy.
Like you?
Yeah, most certainly going to give San Diego a shout. He did coach at Helix High School, a Southern California power down there in football. And we had this thing. You would come in the next day and run a gasser for every minute penalties you gave up. Okay, and I don't know if he's adopting that same principle, but these young men are going to be really tired if he does tomorrow.
Yeah, they're going to be running a marathon. So was Helix in your high school, Vista, were they big rivals?
No, actually, no. Vista is in San Diego County.
Okay.
Vista is San Diego County, and Helix is a San Diego Unified School. So maybe about 45 to 50 minutes apart from each other, but a huge game. Some time ago, Coach Wood coached the likes of Reggie Bush and Alex Smith. That game in Vista, I'm not sure what year it was, but I will, as a proud alum, say Vista High came out on top against Reggie Bush and Alex Smith, two of college's most dynamic players at their position. So a strong tradition there in San Diego. And I think, I know for a fact, talking to Coach Wood before the game, he wants to bring that same tradition and culture here the last couple of years to Sunnyside. Again, his best year here was in 2016. So, and it's been a slow start, but I tell you what, the way this team has looked, the score does not indicate what could be. We've seen flashes of what could happen here. So I like where he's going. I like what he's doing with this team, and I wish them much success in the future. It's all about the process, Dan. If the kids buy into the process, you're going to have great success. I wish Coach Wood and this program best of luck moving forward.
Well, he has always built his season. He's always looked at his season as a series of building blocks for the start of North Yosemite League play.
Right.
So obviously, when they finish this one tonight, they're 0-0. That's all they're thinking about going forward.
We talked about a North Yosemite League right now that's 2-11.
And that last situation, the punter, Dakota Sneed, was nowhere near the bench. I don't know if he'd had to go to the bathroom or what had happened, but they were waiting for him, and they had to take a delay of game penalty. And Gordon Wood was out on the field and was not too happy. He's talking to Dakota Sneed right now down at the 35-yard line.
We see the frustration.
Yeah.
But you don't want your team to unravel here with just 4 minutes to go.
Hess with a give to Elijah Hudson, who's pulled down in the backfield.
Great defensive penetration right there, holding on. Now we're talking about, there's a great defensive play. Holding on, wrapping up as we watch the replay. Look at that penetration right there, staying home, wrapping up. Gator roll tackle, textbook.
Makes it 2nd down and 11.
That's Anthony Green on the tackle.
All spotted at the Sunnyside 46-yard line. North Yosemite League looking much different this year. A couple of schools with new head coaches sitting on top in the non-conference games. That's Roosevelt, the former Bulldog quarterback Vince Branstad at the helm, who is 4-0.
Tight end.
All right, tight end, sorry. You're right.
Okay.
And then
McLean.
Looking at McLean High School, undefeated at 3-0.
That's right, and I believe they were down at the half. Get that score.
And that is where we will be next week, McLean High, for the Highlanders game with Dos Palos High. 3rd and 11 now. This is Hess with a keeper to the far side, wrapped up by the linebacker and pulled down for a loss of about 4. Penalty flag flies. And we've got a holding call against Stockdale.
And Dan, I take that back. Just looking at the score update, McLean now up 42, exploding after the half. McLean High School up 42-13 over Yosemite in the 4th quarter.
Wow, impressive. So the hold is going to be declined, which will bring up a 4th and 25. Or 4th and, that's about a 4th and 12, I should say. And the punting unit comes on. Dwayne Hartman on to boot the ball away. Hartman has been very busy tonight, but it's actually just been on kickoffs for the most part. I think this is only his 2nd, possibly at most 3rd punt of the night. Ball comes down. Penalty flag thrown, but that could be the spot. Not sure.
But if you're Sunnyside, you can't be that close to the football right there. You can be pushed into the football. Again, it's those little things, Dan, that I've seen tonight that they have to go back as a coaching staff and just address and work on. And, you know, you want to get away. You want to start sprinting back to the side. There's no reason for a Sunnyside player to be around that football.
15 from the...
I believe we had an illegal block on that play on Stockdale that will kicking interference is what the call is. Kicking interference is the call. So that will bring the ball to the 29-yard line where Sunnyside will start their possession. Desperately needing to get something going. They have just not been able to. And I'm going to assume delay of game. No, offsides. So they get a break and they give it back.
As I'm looking on the sideline, Dan, Devin Jones, the starting tailback for Sunnyside, looks to be done as he begins to unbuckle his pads.
He has been a frustrated young man throughout the night. So that's the end of the third quarter of play here from Sunnyside Stadium. Or our fourth quarter of play, I should say, as the two teams will line up at midfield to shake hands. Then their show of sportsmanship as Stockdale High School comes out on top tonight by a final score of 42-6. And Paris, it has been a night of frustration for Sunnyside High, and a night when Stockdale also wanted to come in, get some good things going before they jump into a very tough conference schedule in a week's time.
That's right. Let's start off with Stockdale and Coach Sheldon. Again, just grinded it out. Again, they talked about imposing their will and playing a physical brand of football, switching quarterbacks on the keep, left, right, in the middle, just dominating the line of scrimmage tonight and just wore out Sunnyside, a team that looked a lot better than the score indicates. I'm talking 12 total penalties on tonight, costly penalties, game-changing penalties, cost them this football game tonight. But for the kids at Sunnyside, keep your head up. Again, you're going into a league that is right now 2-11, two undefeated teams in conference. But you saw some good things for Sunnyside tonight. But again, it's those little things that win and lose football games.
Well, we've been hearing it from coaches. We heard it from the Stockdale coaches before the game, pointing to the Sunnyside locker room and said that team is a much, much better team than their record indicates. Sunnyside slips to 0-5 as Stockdale now gets above the 500 mark at 3-2. Our final score tonight from Sunnyside High School, the Stockdale High Mustangs of Bakersfield 42, Sunnyside High 6. On behalf of our entire crew from CMAC, I'm Dan Taylor for Paris Gaines. Thanks for being with us. Join us again next week when we bring you McLean and Dos Palos High School. Good night, everybody.
All right, man.
Tiana gave Perfect the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.